That's some real. Oh, hey, Chatter. Everybody doing good?
That's how y'all feel.
So the Patreon just dropped Maturity and Money featuring Poor Minds. And I thought I'd do something a bit different for y'all today, Chatterboxx fam, which will be my raw and unfiltered thoughts as I'm watching. So they kick it off coming back from break where Keno has made them some smash burgers with all the trimmings.
He has chopped them and pickled them.
Pickled them.
Working on this burger for a month.
Then Mona decides to chime in and say this.
Every Friday shit works for me.
Nah, that's fire.
Movie all gotta give up a dub.
And Mona offers to put some money on it.
That's some real.
See, my coffee's unkicked in now. No. Now, this moment might be a real moment, but for me, it doesn't take something happening directly to me for me to have an understanding of how a person moves. So to be sitting up there acting like, yeah, like throwing in a few dollars ain't nothing with the body language that she has. Girl, get, okay? They had such a big problem with Mel and that cake money, okay? And again, it's probably because it happened directly to them. But with Mona, by her own admission on these content streets, has admitted to moving funny with money, okay? Nah. For me, if this is the representation that you want to have up there sitting on the main couch,
It's a no.
because it tells a lot about a person's character, and she was only trying to fix it once she was called out for it. Now, y'all know as well as I do that if that was Melissa Ford sitting up there on that couch, that they would have played the clip, they would have dog walked Mel, and they would have made her explain, or they would have made a lot of jokes about it, okay? They wouldn't be letting her off the hook this easy, and I know that Joe Budden has seen the information that has been out there. I mean, it's a whole 56-minute clip where Mona is pleading her case, okay?
I got the same internet everybody else got.
Now, with that said, I have been trying to be here for the ladies, but I just got to keep it real and give my thoughts.
We're like you. I feel like we don't. But I was
Because it is looking crazy for Mona, and then some stuff that is coming out about Mel. Enough on them for now. Let's get into this next segment. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on so you don't miss a video from yours truly, Chatterboxx. Let's see what Lex and Drea from Poor Minds are talking about.
Are not girls. Are y'all girls?
women that say that they girls usually be the worst on the planet.
That's a fact.
Like,
Are those shots fired?
Mel's not a girl.
I am a girl's girl.
No, you're not.
Yes,
You're
I am.
Not a girl.
Yeah.
Just being a girl's girl right now.
I'm not a girl's girl to everybody.
So Joe goes on to ask the question, how do they get friends and family, etc., to stop people from thinking that they are mega rich? Here's the question.
Stop your loved ones, family member, or friends or girlfriends from just assuming that y'all are mega rich.
Now, I chose to highlight this topic or this question because it relates to my thoughts on Mona and how she answers the question, as well as Drea and Lex both answer it from unique perspectives. And I like this part right here.
how we kind of enable people. Like when we start getting money, then we doing everything for everybody. You still need to be able to get it on your own.
And I'm a firm believer in that. As this quote says, first generations make it, second generation maintains it, third generation destroys it. And I do believe you have to know how to go out there and go get it. Now, that's not to say you can't ask people for help, but if that's always what you default to, always looking for somebody to bail you out or to loan you money, that's not the answer, because you will always have this lifelong problem, right? You got to know how to hustle. And I thought it was a really good convo, as well as the guys weighing in, because we have heard Mark talk about how he has so many responsibilities and so many people plugged into him. And, you know, he has to make that money to help take care of people, as well as Joe on a pod episode a while back has mentioned, you know, that he took care of a lot of people on his way up. Now, I do want to say, as a business owner myself, a lot of people think because you have a business that you are making all this money. With every business comes business expenses. And not only that, the money that you are making, you're trying to flip it, put it back into the business, try to double, triple it, right? So that money isn't always just free money laying around. despite what it looks like to other people, despite the views that your content may have, which brings me to the other point that Mona speaks on right here.
Well, with me, when I first started, I wasn't getting paid for all the appearances. You did them so you could get more appearances.
Just out of her own mouth, last week, she was recorded talking about how she was paid to do shows or some type of content, and she did not fulfill her end of the deal, allegedly. So is this Mona's way by way of Joe addressing it on the pod? I'm wondering if Joe is going to take any of that conversation into consideration with having Mona on the pod and how this all plays out for Mona. I guess time will tell. Joe segues further onto this topic, and this is interesting.
Difference in how either you pod or show up to pod when you're fighting with your partner. I meant more so to each other.
So Drea and Lex answer and say that they've been pretty good about keeping a poker face as well as growing. And they really do seem like they have amazing chemistry with each other. They are the type of ladies I would like to see on the pod more. You know, they're gorgeous and they know how to handle topics. They know how to pass the ball. They would be like the perfect fit for the JBP. So what I'm thinking is just a normal convo. It is crazy how Joe lines this up to get what he's got to get off his chest. And I thought he was going to take a chill pill this fourth quarter, but here he goes.
People out here that they cannot stand, they co-hosting this and XYZ.
Yeah.
And they be messing up deals.
She is speaking the truth. You know, an episode of Love and Hip Hop that I also remember, just hang with me and it's going to make sense. Hopefully it'll make sense. But it was the episode with Jim Jones, Yandy, and Chrissy, where they had a fight because Chrissy was saying that Yandy was blurring the lines with Jim, right? Now, I understand this is TV, it's scripted, allegedly, and these are characters, right? Or just take that situation and apply it to whether it's the relationship dynamic and you're doing business with someone or you're in a partnership with somebody, i.e., the cast members of the pod. Now, while all these dynamics are very different, you can still get in your own way with every single one over jealousy, over trying to have control, over not wanting to share the space. And that kind of feels like what happened on the pod. And instead of seeing the bigger picture, it messes up the goal for everyone. And I think this is what Joe is talking about right here.
Now.
Some of y'all been not liked your co-host.
Who do you think Joe is talking to?
Y'all having a hard time keeping it together. And you have the deal.
I don't know who he is talking about because this can apply to several people, but I do know I saw that clip of Melissa Ford interviewing Charlemagne, and I don't know if Joe Budden is triggered by that or what is going on or who he is referring to. I will be watching that episode when it drops and reporting back. In the meantime, Chatterboxx fam, drop your thoughts in the comments who you think Joe is referring to. I'm going to go ahead and finish this episode. I may come back with a part 2 and drop some more of my thoughts. But until then, you already know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and go check out my Patreon.